Hello and welcome to the Ashland Stadium, the home of Jamaica College. And we're here to bring you the second game of the doubleheader this afternoon on this bright Sunday. Cavalier against Chapelton Maroons. Pretty cool conditions here at the Ashland Stadium, and both these teams looking forward to making an impression here. And it's time to hear from the coaching staff as they look ahead to this evening's encounter.
Clovis, a big win for you last week, your first win since taking over reins at Chapelton. How has the week been in terms of preparation for this big encounter against Cavalier?
Yeah, we didn't change anything. We didn't change too much because I work a lot hard, the mentality of the player, because football's presented to you every week, a different results, different attitudes. And of course, we celebrated. It was very good. The performance, the team, it was very good. Not only the goals that we score, the performance was very good. So the only thing is good that motivates more the atmosphere, the environment become better and better. That's all the things change during this week.
All right, with the same kind of lineup, obviously you're coming up against a free-flowing Cavalier who sits third in the table. How do you plan to combat that?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy game. I've seen them play that game. After that, I stay here to watch them play. It's a very good team, strong team. Besides their strength, their shape as a fitness aspect, the quality also, technical quality, they have got a good quality. But still, we are here, as you said, step by step, week by week, we have been seeing improvement a lot in our performance. Hopefully today, we will be able to make a good game against them, and if it's possible, win the game. That's why we came for.
Rudolph, you spoke about the victory last week as being that kind of victory that you need to accomplish. Tough games, but still getting the results. How confident are you that Cavalier week after week can produce that kind of attitude?
Oh yeah, we have the attitude. Sometimes it doesn't go according to plan, but again, I think this is going to be another tough game. I expect Chapelton to be getting better and better every week, so we expect another tough game.
Well, when you look at your wide variety and so on, obviously Chapelton, they've conceded a lot of goals. Do you think your firepower up front is just too much for this Chapelton Maroons team?
Well, it should be, but a lot of time we miss fire. So I'm hoping today is one of those days that we really fire and get the results.
And obviously an opportunity here with 3 points to go join top of the table. That would look good for you.
No, Mount Pleasant won the game, so we won't be going on top of the table yet. But next week, if we get 3 points, it will be the top of the table clash, which we're looking forward to.
Any changes in the squad today?
Oh, not a lot of changes. Two of the players that sat out last match, they are back in, and I have a little surprise for you in terms of the position of the players.
We'll tell you about the surprise a little later on, but just to show you some of the results so far in match week 16, Mobay United and Malines United ended 2-2. Mobay United leaving it late to draw that game. Mount Pleasant with a 2-0 victory over Tivoli Gardens. Veer United going down by 2-0 to Pome United. And Falkland, well, they have another draw beside their name, and it's with Humble and a goalless affair there. Let's take a look at the point standings. Mount Pleasant, they have stretched their lead for the time being. They're on 35 points, 5 ahead of Arnick Gardens, who, of course, they have the game in hand tomorrow against Waterhouse. Cavalier in third spot on 29 points at the moment. They could jump back, well, they could jump into second spot with victory this afternoon. Cumberland, Harbourview, and Dunbeholden round out the top 6. Falkland and Chapelton Maroons, they are at the foot of the table, but Chapelton could jump over Falkland with maximum points in this fixture with Cavalier. So we're getting ready for the teams to make their way out to the middle, but yeah, this fixture could be interesting. Chapelton would like to prove that they are an improving outfit, and Cavalier, of course, eager to go back into second spot, and the teams make their way out to the middle. Last time Cavalier met Chapelton, they won by 3-0. The likes of Giovanni Leng and young Dwayne Allen and Colin Anderson were all on the score sheet. There is Colin Anderson with 11 goals to his name so far this season, and hoping to go further up the charts. Presently in second spot on the goal scorers chart, behind one Trevante Stewart of Mount Pleasant. We'll now pause for the playing of the national anthem.
Of the national anthem.
So Chapelton coming across to greet Cavalier. They've made quite a few changes to their lineup from the team which graced our screens last weekend. They don't have Aaron Elliott, the man who came off the bench to score a couple of goals last time out, because he's not going to be playing against his parent club, Cavalier, so he sits out this one. Andre Farquharson is the man in the middle for this fixture. OJ Duhaney and Shireen Alain, the assistants. Angela Hayden, fourth official. Ronaldo Christian on the right for Chapelton Maroons, and on the left, Kyle Ming. As we take a look at the lineup for Cavalier. So Vina Bartlett is between the sticks. Richard King returns to the lineup, but he's going to be playing in a midfield role, we hear. Giovanni Leng and Kyle Ming and Brian Elshot will be at the back. Ronaldo Webster, Dwayne Allen, Dwayne Atkinson and Christopher Ainsworth in the middle of the park. Behind the strikers, Colin Anderson and Shanil Thomas. So pretty much a 3-5-2 formation for Cavaliers. Take a look at the Chapelton Maroons starting lineup. And they'll be going with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Mikhail Harrison between the sticks. Shane Watson, Ronaldo Christian, the skipper. Osani Ricketts and Tajay Brown, the back four. In the middle of the park, Evan Taylor and Rashawn Rich. And up top, Kenelda Brown on the left. Mark Lewis on the right. Malik Stevens behind the striker Jaleel Evans. So we're just moments away from the kickoff for this second game of the doubleheader here at the Ashenheim Stadium. And minutes away from the sun setting on another Sunday here in Kingston, Jamaica. And yeah, this matchup between the two teams, it's a different dynamic than what we saw early in the season when Cavalier came out with a 3-0 victory. Waiting on the clock to go over to 5:30, and that will happen in short order, but Chris Taylor is still with me. will get his thoughts on the lineups as well as his thoughts on this fixture in a short order. But we are on the way here at the home of Jamaica College at the Ashenheim Stadium. And Cavalier, you expect them to have the majority of the possession. Aaron Elliott was in fine form for Chapelton last time out, coming off the bench, scoring a double. A cameo performance, enough for the Man of the Match award. But he won't be playing against his parent club this afternoon. And it's going to be Webster, who's gone charging over on that far side. Time to bring in Chris Taylor. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Cavalier have been playing really good football, as I said. Hence the question if their firepower up front, especially with an improving Ronaldo Webster, who had such a good game last week as well, and Colin Anderson still in and amongst the goals with Dwayne Atkinson, how much could this youthful, inexperienced Maroons outfit manage them? So I favour Cavalier in terms of a victory, but I'm very much aware that Clovis de Oliveira is building this team and they are improving each week. So they could make it competitive, but I still favour Cavalier. I think Cavalier in the form they are right now, even difficult matches they're finding ways to win. The surprise was that Richard King would be playing in the midfield role. He commits the foul there. And I do think he has a range of passing to play in that role. Maybe sometimes a bit too much range. But yeah, he will add some strength and stability within the middle, size as well. Good in the air, so an opportunity for him to get further up the park. So that's interesting to see.
Well, they have to do a bit of defending now, Cavalier. As Chapelton, they have an opportunity to make use of this one. And it is King back there with the header away. And Ming will try again to make the clearance with the head. And now Anderson utilizing his speed to get away from his marker, striding down the left. Anderson, he was cut down there just outside the box. Maybe a yellow card will come out.
That's a poor challenge. Oh, wow.
Yep, it is out. Pretty early in the piece. The yellow card is going to be shown here.
Totally agree. Good call, Andre Farquharson. Using his pace, as you said. The first and second touches of Colin Anderson is such an improved part of his game. And it was excellent there, and that's a definite yellow card. And that's a really poor challenge, but had he not made it, had he not made it, Anderson would have been in and probably scored. So he made sure to do it outside of the area.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was pretty deliberate.
Yeah. You'd have to say, based on where they've left this foul, that it was a pretty good foul, taking one for the team in this position, because it's not a clear-cut opportunity for Dwayne Atkinson.
Or maybe it is, who knows? He is behind this one. The wall has been set up. There are 4 players in the wall trying to provide the block, but Atkinson setting it up. It's a shot that's deflected. Still an opportunity here, and the back heel is handled well by Chapelton. The flag, however, is up for offside. I reckon there were probably 4 Cavalier players in an offside position there. There's Clovis de Oliveira enjoying his time back in Jamaica, now with Chapelton Maroons.
He's completing to the 4th official, and now the first assistant referee. That the calls make no sense. This was an issue earlier with the match commissioner. Not sure what exactly happened, but there was obviously some disagreement, and both were very vocal about it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out exactly what happened from our producer in short order.
Still a lot to say, the Brazilian. Very animated personality. Clovis de Oliveira did lead the under-17 Jamaica team, young team, to the World Cup back in 1999.
Ball has gone through, looking for Mark Lewis. And there's an awkward coming together between Bartlett and Ming. All's well that ends well.
Did take over the reins as well of the senior team in 2000-2001, but wasn't quite able to lift the Reggae Boys to the 2002 World Cup finals, which was in what was it, South Korea and Japan? Yeah. They actually made it through to the final 6 in the CONCACAF qualifying, but not beyond. I do remember before that he was the assistant to one René Simões, his good Brazilian friend.
Stevens getting a couple of vital touches there. Webster trying to move away from the Chapelton barrier. Anderson was clipped. Free kick to Cavalier. He'll try and run it off.
I did say last week that he had an 11-point gap. As we see the foul there, Vere United, who sit in 12, were 11 points ahead of Chapelton. They have cut that to 8. And now today, if they were to find a victory, they would be able to cut that to 5 and actually leapfrog Falkland. Although it wouldn't really matter, but 13th and 14th are the two teams to be relegated. But in other words, slowly but surely, as he said as well in the interview, Clovis de Olivier, week by week, chipping away.
Yep, they have to.
What an achievement it would be if he was to save the Maroons.
But Lions United would be disappointed with the fact that in their eyes they would have dropped 2 points away to Mobile United, because Mobile United today with the equalizer a minute from time.
Yeah, so just a point there for each of those. So they're not getting away from Chapelton either.
No, they're not. They're reading all of them in.
Tivoli lost as well, who sit above Mobile in 9th.
And Mobile United obviously
with the draw,
on 17 points. So
now 18.
It's pretty close now, is it? Both play along the turf. Well, that was a chance, wasn't it? It really was a chance. It was laying inside the box as well. He's usually quite the presence inside the area of both boxes.
Time, so. Well, that's an awkward bounce at the last minute because he was there laying. I wonder if it bounced over his leg. It was a very awkward bounce. Very hard service here at the Ashenine Stadium and uneven, even though it looks, I would say, mostly picturesque on the TV in terms of its greenness. But the grass, very inconsistent and lots of weeds involved. Really needs to be improved if you're going to play Premier League football.
Or any football, for that matter. Webster on it. Plays it inside to Chanel Thomas. Forced to go wide, gets the corner. Jamaica has been experiencing a bit of a drought the last few weeks.
Which is why the field has looked a bit parched. Does have a sprinkler system involving in an irrigation system here at Jamaica College.
Christopher Ainsworth to deliver. And over the head of Anderson. King gone to retrieve.
Well done, well done.
Last touch off King. Mark Lewis playing on the right side of the midfield for Chapelton Maroons. You had some interesting thoughts off camera because he usually plies his straight down the middle as a striker at the schoolboy football level.
And we saw him used on the right side of things in the last game as well.
When he came on as a substitute, yeah.
Here he is. Not the quickest player around, and I don't think it really...
Lewis sends this one inside. And Cavalier just managing to defend. King goes long.
I just don't think it works to his strength. He is a out-and-out goal scorer. 34 goals in 2 seasons for the William Knibb forward in schoolboy football. 15 2 seasons ago, and then a season ago, and then 19 last season. So that is where you want him. And I'm sorry, wide here, he's not the fastest player, so as a winger as well, he's not going to break down the team. But I'm sure he'll try his best, and to get into the starting lineup, I guess he's happy about that. but I'd like to see him employed in a central position. I think they'll get more out of his service.
Taylor, Evan Taylor, manages to recover. Now it's Tajay Brown, the former Clarendon College player, cutting inside. And they're trying to supply the pass inside the area for Lewis, who wasn't on the same level. Taylor again, deciding to use Watson. Shane Watson. Stevens now on it. Lewis, back to Stevens, nice work. Stevens moving away from his defender. And Giovanni Leng with a proper foot in there, you know. Denying Stevens from advancing. And that clearance had to be made by Osani Ricketts. Taylor again. Back to Brown. Chapelton moving confidently here. Not afraid to try and pull the strings. Oh, what a ball that is. But Stevens in an offside position, apparently.
Yeah.
You
playing
agree?
the 4-2-3-1 formation. Well, I wasn't in a position to see that one, but playing in a 4-2-3-1.
We're literally in the offside position, Christela.
Oh, all the best.
You were saying 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. The good thing about playing in that 3 is that there is a lot of opportunity for rotation. So at the moment, you can see Lewis has gone into that central position of the 3, and Malik Stevens has pulled out wide. It is Evans who is playing as the lone striker up front. Jaleel Evans, their young number 10 from St. Lucia. But yeah, quite a lot of rotation going on.
Cavalier with the possession, trying to constrict them now. Ainsworth and King trying to find back Ainsworth. The whistle on the play as the referee calls it back for that challenge on King. Not sure how long that experiment will work, you know, with King playing in that advanced role. Elshot does look smoother, in my opinion, and that's where he's been playing his football for most of his young career. There he is, but he did do so well in the back 3 last time out, did Elshot.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of experimentation from Rodolphe Speed and maybe trying to broaden the scope of Richard King, who is now in the senior setup, so maybe not a bad idea.
Ball delivered inside it. Wasn't a bad one, you know. So short, Mark Lewis. King, ball over the top. There was a deflection, but it's kept in play. Webster across and on the volley. Ainsworth. Well, that's an opportunity for Christopher Ainsworth, looking for his 2nd goal this season. And it was off target.
There you see in the range of Richard King. Nice ball over the top, even though it got the deflection. Quick feed from Webster. That was a good delivery, but yeah, never got over it, did Ainsworth. It was always stretching, and that's why it skewed. He was late as well. Never got over it. Good build-up play, though, by Cavalier.
He was always stretching for that one.
And once King doesn't look to do too much fancy footwork inside the middle and uses his passes and his size, I think it can be advantageous for Cavalier, actually. He is a very good passer.
Tajay Brown with the ball over the top. Kenelda Brown on it. Webster tracking him all the time. This could be a really good game, you know. If it continues like this with both teams showing the ambition, especially in the attacking third, at least that's a hope.
I'm not so sure about the back line of the Maroons. I think Cavalier have too much quality up front. Let's see. I think they're going to find quite a few avenues through. Here's another one.
Yep, it's Shanil Thomas. And it goes behind for another corner kick to Cavalier. Some of their supporters here looking on. think Ainsworth is one that's gone across to take this corner kick again for Cavalier as they send bodies inside the area. It is Ainsworth. Here comes delivery. That's a bad looking one at all. Last touch off a defender, you know. It's going to be another corner kick to Cavalier.
And 2 unmarked players at the back post. Very lucky that it didn't make it over to them. Colin Anderson was one. How could he be unmarked at the back post? And I think Kyle Ming was the other. Let's look at this delivery here. Nobody marking Ming and Anderson, and had that not touched the back of the defender, it would have been an easy finish for either of
Here's
them.
the corner kick again at the near post. Foot behind, back to back to back. Corner kicks. Reckons he needs a little bit more elevation there, Dwayne Atkinson.
You got it.
And that's kept in play over the high boot from Colin Anderson. He apologizes immediately.
Oh, wow.
The card comes out.
Not sure if that was necessary, but didn't see the play at all. All eyes were on the ball trying to back heel it, so I'm not sure that was necessary, but anyhow. I mean, all eyes on the ball, it's obvious.
Well,
he didn't hit it in his face. He
no.
held his head, but it wasn't there.
I'm not sure that was deserving of a yellow card.
No. I guess the thought of Andre Farquharson was that it was reckless.
Yes, there's yellow card reckless and red card reckless. Conversation is going to be had between the referee and Mark Lewis and Richard King. They're still going at it. King getting there. Thomas over the top looking for Anderson. Clearance just enough.
Captain doing well.
Ronaldo Christian.
Was the man of the match last week up until about the last 5 minutes.
Pretty much.
Aaron Elliott stole that spotlight from him with a brace. A match-winning brace.
Even at the first goal, we were contemplating whether it would have been Christian.
I think it was still Christian.
And then Elliott is like, you know what, let me make sure.
Right. And it was a lovely finish, wasn't it?
It was 2 lovely finishes.
Yeah. But that one to decide it.
Yes. I'm sure it may be a little bit annoying for him to be sitting this one out.
This is a play I like. I think he had so much going forward for them. Kenaldo Brown, exciting player, skillful. Couldn't last the 90 minutes in the previous match week, but he does add a lot of width, and you have to pay attention to him from a defensive perspective.
Yeah.
Most times a double team is needed, so he just needs help.
Taylor finding Watson. Watson drives this one straight to Vida Bartlett. Bartlett sends this long. Len has been steadily improving as the weeks go by.
Man of the match in his match last week.
Yeah, proven to be a lot more consistent.
Had quite a few overlapping runs. And
Indeed.
deliveries from the corner flag as well, Giovanni Lingwell. That's
Look,
not a
it's
bad
going
pass either.
Then again,
Oh.
and the whistle goes. Not sure exactly why.
It wasn't offside.
Oh, definitely not. Well, another Brown in the number 25 wins this one for Chapelton Maroons. And then Elshot doing well to recover. Now this is Webster. Webster trying to thread that one.
Not a
And
bad idea.
no, it wasn't. Just too far in front of Chanel Thomas.
He wanted a better effort from Thomas. And Thomas, had he got that under control, would have had a lot of space.
Yeah.
And that's a concern for me with the Maroons defense, that they do allow uncovered spaces there.
Chapelton edging the possession at the moment at 52%. Brown. I get the better of Elshot again.
Well, their possession must be all in the 18-yard area. Because it seems to me that Cavalier is the one pressing the pedal.
Webster. Anderson went down, was looking for a call, it didn't go his way. This is Malik Stevens now. Stevens was trying to thread that through to Lewis. Anderson was quick enough to get there. Thomas wasn't, and it goes the other way. Watson to Taylor. Evan Taylor, the former national midfielder. Across to Tajay Brown. Trickles through. Was there a handled ball? There was. Call against Stevens. Leng again going long, looking for Atkinson. Atkinson claiming that he was held. Does well in winning it back, takes the shot himself. Had to be saved.
I think that was sneaking in, you know. Good save by Harrison. And it didn't look at first that it was going to be very dangerous, but then took an awkward bounce. Might have been just sneaking wide, but I don't know, with that bend.
No, it does
probably
go
was,
wide.
yeah, it was going wide, but he wasn't sure.
He wasn't. That's why he had to come across to make the save. It was close enough for him to.
And that bounce right in front of him made it awkward as well. Ainsworth swinging this one. It's a good looking one that's headed away. And safety first. Mark Lewis with the header away, getting back and doing his defensive duties. Not the tallest player, Mark Lewis, and fire with his mouth, I must say.
Taken quickly by Cavalier. There's the ball inside, repelled. Stevens. Hospital pass from Stevens. Atkinson now. Anderson.
Strong defensive work by the captain again, Christian. Anderson is a physical player himself. Well, he's obviously met his match so far.
I think he has, because
it's the second or third time he's been aggressively handled.
Almost like a ragged doll on that occasion, the way he was thrown. Dwayne Allen to deliver. 7th corner for Cavalier. 50% of those haven't been good enough. Allen with a header, didn't go too far. Taylor, seeing the keeper off his line, was trying something really ambitious. King. Leng. Back to King. Ainsworth. Leng finding Atkinson. Ainsworth. King. King! Well, he loves scoring from a fair distance. We've seen it on a couple of occasions from Richard King, including a goal of the season contender last time out in that epic matchup with Dunby Holden at Sabina Park.
Is it the third place playoff? No, obviously
The
couldn't have been
semi-final.
semi-final,
Yep.
yeah. Second leg.
Indeed it was.
It was a left-footed shot.
What
from
a
outside
turn
the
from
area.
Webster. And Elshot, can he keep that one in play? Well, the assistant referee getting involved. Close to the action. Ooh.
Oh, she was heavily tackled.
Yeah, that's a yellow card offense, you know, at least.
She survived it. Shane Watson just checking to make sure she's all right.
She says she's fine.
Yeah. Strong legs, I'm sure she'll stretch it out.
You can see that she doesn't want the attention. Pity it's been televised. Sorry about that. Allen winning it back. Cross to Elshot now. Ball played out wide. It's with Webster. Webster, that's a delightful ball inside. He was looking for Colin Anderson. The play is going to be called back for the foul on Jaleel Evans. Who's had a much better start to this game as opposed to the last time we saw him. Evans, the number 10, the young St. Lucian. Stevens now. Tajay Brown. Ricketts sends it high. Allen collects neatly, then decides to go long, asking Colin Anderson to chase. Anderson with a nice touch outside. Atkinson switching the play. He lost it under the sky, Ronaldo Webster, and lost his balance as well. Brown. Allen. Thomas. Ainsworth. Atkinson. Nicely done. Dwayne Atkinson fires that one across. Was there a handled ball there? Referee saying nothing doing.
Think of the body onto the hand, which would be slightly different in terms of how it's adjudicated.
It only goes against you when you've scored. But as a defender, there is some pity. To Jay Brown. Webster with the interception there. He did really well. He has Anderson for company. Finds Anderson. Anderson, there's nobody there at the back post.
Wasted. Anderson took it on the wrong area of the chest as well. Wanted to take it on the, I would say, the left side of the chest so that it would have gone towards goal. Instead, he took it away from him. Well, away from goal, at least. Nice play by Webster. He's had a good game. He's had a good last couple of weeks, Webster.
He has.
He was one of those players that Cavalier certainly needed to come alive, and he's been getting there.
And I actually think he's a really good striker as well.
Yeah, and he's been putting in the defensive work as well, getting
yes.
back and tackling hard, winning the ball.
Ainsworth. King. King sends it high. Thomas battling, winning it. Shanil Thomas still on it. Need a better ball to King. But Allen doing the dirty work. And the card is going to be shown to the senior man, Evan Taylor.
Another yellow card flashed by Andre Farquharson. Let's hope later on it doesn't have a lot of bear. Let's see it here. Had the ball initially, then was late. Oh, yeah. Bit of a wild challenge.
Yeah, it was.
For sure.
Saw Dwayne Allen coming out of the corner of his eye. Knew that he wasn't going to get there. That was beautifully done from Atkinson, you know. And yeah, there was nothing in that. There was nothing Ricketts could have done about that one. Referee Ferguson waving it off immediately. Rudolph Speed mentioned in our chat before the game that sometimes his team misfires. But on paper, one of the more potent attacks in the Jamaica Premier League. Atkinson sends this one inside. It's a chance here. The flag stayed down. It's come out to Ainsworth. Ainsworth with a dip inside for Allen. And the keeper coming out before Anderson could get across. The flag, however, went up for offside, though. Mikhail Harrison. Yeah. King was coming back from an offside position. Oh, nicely done. Chapelton still with it. Lofted ball looking for Stevens. Leng is back there. Safety first. Leng again with the foot in. Now it's with Thomas. Thomas looking for Anderson. Christian in the way again. Watson.
Well, somebody's lost something.
Well, here's Stevens trying to utilize his speed to get around Leng. Ball across the line.
Almost looks like skins or something that has dropped off. Nobody's picked it up.
Nobody's picking it up at all. Rich, oh, almost got through there. Taylor. To Jay Brown now. Yep, does well to keep it in. Goes on a little trek. Looking for the return, didn't come. Lewis ran into traffic. And now it goes the other way through Allen. Lewis coming to the foul.
Yeah.
The clash of the 13s.
Just close him, just close him. All right, in front of you. Go outside, Rick.
Lovely flick inside. Ainsworth pulls it across, and it's gone in off Anderson. Oh, he's a real poacher. Isn't he, Colin Anderson? That's goal number 12 this season for the Cavalier striker. The Chapelton Maroons players aren't happy at all, but the goal is given, and Anderson will benefit. They go ahead in the 37th minute, 1-0.
Dwayne Atkinson. Actually, it was Ainsworth. Yeah. They think it's handball. We should have to slow it down. It's not clear cut. Good pass that by Atkinson. And then Ainsworth with a lovely delivery. It might have come off the shoulder, but I don't think it's the arm. Let's see it here.
Oh.
Yeah, off the shoulder.
Are you sure? That was the best angle.
Yeah.
If it was slowed down, maybe we'll be able to get it better. But that was the best angle.
Yeah.
But the goal is given.
It didn't come off his head, but it seemed like it would have been high up. Shoulder or sleeve, as they would say, which is legal.
Or maybe just a little lower, who knows?
Whatever the case, 1-0.
Yep. Here's Atkinson. They deserve it. Ainsworth gets it. And Ainsworth delivers, looking for Anderson again. It comes out to Allen. Allen can crack it. It wasn't so much a crack, was it? It went aerial, and no issues there for Mikhail Harrison.
That's Ainsworth's third assist of the season. Christopher Ainsworth. Quite a cultured left foot.
I really do like him as a player.
Has.
Probably the most capped amateur player in the Jamaica Premier League.
Yeah.
Shane Watson doing enough over on the far side for Chapelton. Well,
there's the yellow stuff we saw floating around. No wonder they're not paying it any mind. Seems like what you'd call it, that wrapping stuffing, wrapping paper.
Not sure how it got there.
Traveling in the breeze. At first, based on how it was on the field, we thought it might have been somebody's footwear or some sock or something.
I actually thought they were cones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cones.
Cones. The flat ones.
That miraculously after 25 minutes ended up on the field in bright yellow.
Yes. I just figured that we weren't paying attention.
I work with the wrapping paper. But not only us, 24 people on the field weren't paying attention either.
Well, based on what we saw in the first game, blindness seemed to be going around. Yes, lovely pickup here. And ball played through, and it wasn't the best first touch from Mark Lewis, was it?
Kind of an awkward height as well to take it down, because in that hip region. But yeah, good to see him in a bit of a central position. It almost seems like himself and Evans are sharing that role.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of rotation, which works. So maybe Coach De Oliveira has given them that
freedom,
that license to do that. Yeah, the freedom.
Webster.
By the way, that's the 24th goal Chapelton have conceded so far this season. Tied for the second most conceded. Falkland has the worst defensive record, 30 goals conceded. And Malines and Chapelton. Well, actually, Malines now, they drew 2-all, right? So they have 25 conceded, and Chapelton with 24, so third most.
It was always going to be a difficult proposition for Chapelton to get the better of Cavalier this evening.
And they haven't played badly by any means.
No, they haven't. They've been expressive.
Yeah, and they do look like they could get something more out of this game if they keep up with that kind of positive attitude. But defensively, I just wonder if they have the quality to keep out an attack of so much quality.
So let's see it again. The goal that was awarded.
Right, so
that's close to the elbow.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's one that I think might have come off of that sleeve there. And the sleeve is short, yes, but the sleeve is a sleeve. And
hey, watch out.
I can understand one like that would have gone unnoticed.
Here's Atkinson. Oh, he sent that one to high heavens, hasn't he? Still kept alive by Cavalier. Allen to Thomas. Lovely turn. Thomas's effort was blocked. Comes back out to Webster. Webster sends it high, looking for Anderson. Also, there is, well, Atkinson trying to turn. These Cavalier players are so skillful.
He was bounced in the back initially. Atkinson almost trying to force him out of bounds. Smart defending. And there's a heel from each other. They appreciate the duel.
Yeah,
Atkinson had a wry smile. He had to say, well, he thought it was good defensive work as well.
Long throw inside the area. King got a touch. It comes out to Allen. Allen had a wayward leg in there. Taylor. Nice find. Tajay Brown. Better find. It's now Kenelda Brown on the right hand side. Back to Tajay Brown. Rich delivers. Wonderful ball inside the area that Cavalier they were able to defend against. Now this is Webster. Watson couldn't keep it in play.
Fine margins.
Indeed.
Christian has done well so far. It was a fine margin that has given Cavalier the lead.
Yep. See Chapelton fans in the stands. Clovis did appeal for more supporters to come out and obviously support the team.
Yeah.
I think I saw a shot of Winston Nevers there as part of the crowd. Winston Nevers. There he is.
Yeah, he is.
Right behind the Chapelton name. course, he's renowned coach of Jamaica, the netball team. Renowned netball coach. 2 minutes of stoppages to be played.
And the Olivier wanted support generally as well. I think at the game, yes, but also outside of that to get behind the team in whichever way they could. Resources as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good to see them answering the call somewhat.
Yeah, even they don't have anything to cheer about right now. L shot. Nice find. Webster. King. Lost it.
That's what we spoke about, King not getting too fancy in his midfield play. Just needs to keep it simple. Fancy dribble is not necessarily his forte. That's what he was looking to do there, giving away the ball.
Leg again was in the way. Not the best ball forward that from Ainsworth. Now Kenelda Brown. Tajay Brown now. Rich. Rashawn Rich. Mark Lewis slipped on the ball and lost it in the end. Allen, did he overcook this one? Anderson with speed. And, oh, yeah, good work at the back by Christian. That's a proper battle going on. Very good work by the Chapelton skipper. And Chapelton, can they get one final attack going? They won't have enough time. That's the end of the first half. It's been an interesting affair. It really has been, but Cavalier, the ones with the lead. And it's Colin Anderson, their talisman up front, once again getting his 12th goal this season. There may have been a bit of fortune about it. As Chapelton, they were appealing for a handled ball, and he actually handled it across the line. But the referees, the officials, didn't make anything out of it and awarded the goal to Colin Anderson, his 12th this season. And after 45 minutes, Cavalier with the lead, 1-0 over Chapelton.
We're back at the Ashenine Stadium on the grounds of Jamaica College. Jamaica Premier League action, and it's Cavalier against Chapelton Maroons. JPL powered by Digicel, 1-0 after 45 minutes. Andre Farquharson, the man in charge. Cavalier in their usual black and white outfit, and they're in front foot right away. Nice pass by Richard King, being employed in the midfield today. And it was Ronaldo Webster with a delivery from the wide side. Ainsworth just didn't get it right, didn't get over the ball, and skewed that left-footed attempt badly. The Maroons, they were under pressure, and this would continue. Dwayne Atkinson working heavily here. He's known for these right-footed shots from the angle. And yeah, Harrison wasn't sure, had to get down quickly. And it looked like it was going wide, and it was out for a corner. Cavalier having the Maroons under pressure. This is the strike by Atkinson again. And the work here. First an appeal for a ball he thought had handled the defender, and then the strike there, pending at the last moment. But heading wide. Anyhow, they would continue to come forward. Richard King with the volley from about 20 yards out. And in the end, it was easy for Michael Harrison between the sticks. As you can see, all Cavalier. Then the moment that would make the difference. Controversial in a way, Colin Anderson. It was obviously, it didn't come off his head, but as to whether it was a sleeve or lower down, the officials were sure that it was a legal goal. Christopher Ainsworth with the assist, Colin Anderson with a dozen on the season. And the blonde-haired maestro up front for Cavalier, making the difference yet again. Allen with a volley which, well, was a powder puff for the most part. And that was it for 45 minutes. 1-0 to Cavalier, 9 shots, 4 on target from them. They were dominant in the first half. 4 attempts for Chapelton, 2 on target for them. 12 fouls and some 4 yellow cards shown by Andre Farquharson. And in fact, right at the halftime whistle, a yellow card was shown to Michael Harrison for the protest having to do with the goal. And yeah, some 3 offsides. Chapelton with the majority, and majority of saves as well. The odd one in 5. Majority of the possession for Cavalier, 57%. And after 45 minutes, they have all the goals. It's Cavalier 1, Chapelton 0 after 45. We go to a break with highlights from our first game, Vere United against Portmore United.
Let's take a look at the highlights here. And Portmore United had the majority of the chances. This one just over the head of Stephen Young. It's just the flight of it. And this straight into the hands of goalkeeper Davey Payton, who didn't have a whole lot of work to do between the sticks for Portmore United. The header from Stephen Young again, wide of the mark. Again, a good find from Emilio Rousseau, who had a really good game. But his strikers and his teammates couldn't supply the finish. There was the handball inside the box that the officials didn't spot. They could not believe it. Brown with the shot, and Austin was in the way there. So again with the delivery, and deflected in off Cummings. It was a wonderful ball inside. I think Miles got a deflection on it. Yep. And it came off Cummings last. Marshall did well to send it across wide. And this effort from Rousseau, just wide of the mark, you know. Very close to getting his 6th goal of the season. And then Satchwell, lovely, well, tried to beat his marker. Was he cut down? That was the question inside the box. We reckon that he was, Alex Marshall, but nothing given. This possibly was a bit more clear cut. Went right through him. Alvin Myers could not believe the call. Didn't go in his favor. But it would work out for Portmore in the end. Walker doing well. Knight sending it out wide. Marshall wasn't the best first touch, but was able to lend the assist to Lamar Walker, who was open to scoring now in the Jamaica Premier League this season. That was a nice touch. Wonderful build-up play there. And Portmore United with their 2nd goal, sealing the victory. So, we have football action for you on Monday. Harborview against Dunbeholden, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. ECT. You can watch that on Sportsmax 2, also on Sportsmax 2. It's what they call El Clasico. Arne Gardens against Waterhouse, Monday Night Football, 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 8:30 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean time. NBA also on Sportsmax. On Monday night, the Heat against the 76ers, 7 o'clock, 8 ECT. And also in basketball, the Washington Wizards against the Atlanta Hawks. That's on Tuesday night, 7:30, 8:30 ECT. You can also watch that on Sportsmax. And also on Sportsmax 2 that same night, it's a late tip-off. Timberwolves at the Clippers. Tuesday night, 10 o'clock, 11 ECT. You don't want to miss it. So we're back here at the Ashenheim Stadium. And Chris Taylor is still with me. 1-0 the scoreline for Cavalier over Chapelton Maroons. And it's a goal that they deserved, even though it is said that it came under controversial circumstances.
Yeah, definitely deserved. They were on the front foot from the start. Cavalier, and as expected as well. I just didn't think that the quality of the Maroons defense would be able to keep out the free-flowing movement of Cavalier, and it's proven that way. A number of half opportunities, and then the goal, as you said, which looked like it came off the shoulder in the end of Colin Anderson. Michael Harrison received a yellow card at the end of the half because he had a lot to say to referee Andre Farquharson about the incident. He thought that Colin Anderson put his hand out to the ball, and even so, it still doesn't mean that it didn't come off the sleeve area, which is legal. And
to be fair, he was right there, though.
Yeah.
So I can understand him making a strong argument because he believes that he would have seen it clearly.
Yeah, but he's also saying that he thinks that the arm was put out towards the ball. I'm not saying that
so
he
it should have been obvious. He's probably thinking that it should have been obvious to the referee.
Yeah, but where it came off the arm is important.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if he knows that rule. So, yeah. Nevertheless, inconclusive, as you said, in terms of, in fact, looking at it many times, it still looked like it hit bang on the sleeve here, but you never know if part of the ball, because it is round, might have grazed the skin, who knows.
Yeah.
But I mean,
second half is on the way now, and that's going to be discussed for a while, I reckon, especially if that's the only goal in this one.
You can imagine us, we have looked at it a dozen times, and they would have had one moment to see it,
yeah.
The officials, and as far as I'm concerned, they did the right thing to leave it alone.
There was possibly another one there as well. But we've seen bigger controversies. We've seen an Irish team being unable to go to the World Cup after Thierry handled one across the line. Javel Ellis is in, replacing Kenelda Brown.
It must be said that that incident, though, was a clear miss. Not a case where it was controversial as to whether it hit the arm or not. That one was almost a catch.
It was. And Jerome McCleary is on the park as well. Ball lofted inside the area. Kept alive by Ricketts. Bartlett collects.
It must be said, even though the damage was done, to give Henry credit, he did admit to it later on and apologized as well. Not sure it would have meant much to the Irish, though, at that point.
No, it wouldn't.
Anyhow.
Webster. Shanil Thomas. Ball played inside. They are playing around with it, you know. Players down inside the box. Webster delivers inside, looking for Anderson. Couldn't connect well. The player down inside the box will get some attention now.
Shane Watson.
Yep.
Was unable to stop the play earlier, Farquharson, because Cavalier were threatening the area, and it wasn't a head injury. This is a moment. Well, a bit innocuous there, wasn't it? Looked like he tripped over his own player, Shane Watson. Well, he tackled himself almost.
Almost.
So I'm not sure what he did. It didn't seem like anything major.
I wonder if it's an injury that Kennedy Brown picked up while he has been taken off. Because you've expressed delight with how he has played so far.
Yeah. Did also say that he hasn't been able to manage 90 minutes.
Yeah, but at the 45 minutes, here's Aaron Elliott in the stands. Can't play for Chapelton Maroons.
Yeah, on loan from Cavalier. He was a hero last week with his brace off the bench. But yeah, Kenaldo Brown struggled in terms of managing the time last week, was taken off pretty early in the second half, and this time he's off early, but take your point, it could be injury related.
Colin Anderson getting a dozen goals this season.
Good skill by Mark Lewis there. Not necessarily accurate with the pass. Does look comfortable on the ball, Lewis. But again, I don't think you'd be happy with the amount of touches he's been able to get, or lack of touches inside the 18-yard area, which is where you want to see Mark Lewis getting the ball.
Couple of players down, one for each team.
Thomas.
Yeah, for Cavalier. And Rashawn Rich, he's back up on his feet now.
That was quick. This was a, ooh. That was a heavy hit on Shaniel Thomas. I can understand why Rich came out the better of the two.
Being the enforcer now.
Yeah.
Would have been fully prepared for that collision. Rashawn Rich.
It was in the face of Thomas. Certainly shaken up.
Free kick to Chapelton Maroons. I'm sure they still believe that they can get back level in this one.
You see Javel Ellis coming on. Look like he's put on a couple of pounds as well, looking extra stocky. Javel Ellis was a team captain for a couple of weeks as well, Ellis, and he's been deployed in a more advanced position than where we used to see him. Used to see him more in the central midfield role, but now he's...
And that's been happening from his high school days.
Yeah.
Javel Ellis.
Still surprised.
Of course, Clarendon College alum.
Do have a number of wide players as options on the bench. David Reed, who we've been surprised that we haven't seen. There's Kevin Clark as well from William Knibb. Mark Lewis's teammate, who is also on the bench this week.
Provide quite a few assists during the Costa Cup as well, did Kevin Clark.
All of 16.
Oh, he's beat the offside trap, you know. Atkinson was trying to set up Anderson with a flick. Didn't quite come off.
It's about the third or fourth time a Cavalier players tried those flicks and haven't been successful. built like a tank, Jeff Ellis.
Christian with the clearance. Lovely ball, but Bartlett saw it all the way.
Lewis putting in the high knees, but it was well read.
Ellis being physical. Free kick awarded to Cavalier.
Yeah, bulldozed Kyle Ming.
So is he a tank or a bulldozer?
Maybe a combo.
Mm.
They tend to do similar things.
Leads to some level of destruction, I suppose, yes? Well, it has been the best since we've restarted here, Chris Taylor. Thomas does well, finding Anderson. Anderson a little bit too slight on that occasion.
Nice idea, but it was a weak attempt there.
Anderson. Watson inside to Taylor. Rashawn Rich. To Jay Brown. Back to Rich. There's the ball inside the box. Lewis gives chase, couldn't keep it in.
Should have just kept it in though, Lewis. Was actually there. Could have just used his right foot and protect the ball. Instead tried a fancy flick, which was never going to work. But yeah, maybe a lack of patience in that build-up. I was about to give them kudos for just taking their time.
Until the end.
Yeah, and then again. That pass certainly would have put Lewis in a defensive position.
Webster now. Oh, lovely ball over the top for Shanil Thomas. Rushed it, didn't he? It was always going to be difficult to score from there.
Thought he might have looked for the diagonal pass. But yeah, again, Webster with a beauty.
Oh, nice takedown from King. Has it worked so far, King in the middle of the park, you feel?
It hasn't not worked. It's been okay. What we could say has worked is the use of Elshot in the centre-back role. They haven't looked like they've missed anything, Cavalier, and I think that's more important.
So true. Really cool conditions now here at the Ashenheim Stadium. There's a strong breeze blowing here as well. If you weren't paying attention, you'd think it's December.
Take out your windbreakers.
Elshot again, goes aerial. Thomas picks it up, leaves it for Webster. Back to Thomas. 3 to aim for. King inside. McCleary now. Oh, lovely ball out wide. Ainsworth. And now Atkinson. Nice work from TJ Brown. Brown inside. Oh, surely the equalizer has come. And what a tame effort for Mark Lewis. We expect better from him. Inside the area, had all the time in the world.
Could have taken a touch though. I think he should have taken a touch. There's enough time for him to cut that onto the right foot because there was still about 10 yards between himself and the defender. Take the touch with the left foot to bring it onto the right and then kick to the far corner. I think that would have been a better option. Ball going across your body as an unnatural left footer, always harder.
Here's Webster. Webster sends it inside the area and the header is over the top. Climbed well, didn't he?
Well, slowly but surely the game does come in alive here. Just start both teams being a bit tactical to start the second half. Nothing wrong with that.
But there's a bit of an ebb and flow about it now.
Yeah, we've seen a couple good build-ups. Opportunity for Chapelton as well. I actually like the fact that Javel Ellis left the ball for Lewis.
Yeah.
But I think Lewis got a little bit anxious when he saw that ball coming with the space.
Yeah, I think he was actually surprised by the space that he got.
And it was the first time you'd probably have gotten a touch inside that 18-yard area as well. So that was another surprise.
And he kind of just tapped at it in the end, didn't he?
I mean, it was the right decision to go far side of the keeper, but it's just a difficult technique going with the ball coming across your body like that with the weaker foot too.
Especially if you're not 100% certain about the bounce.
But I think with the space between him and the defender, he could have taken a touch. Anyhow, he will hope it's not his last touch. Quite a few players warming up now for the Maroons. David Reed, Tremaine Williamson among the substitutes.
Cavalier with 55% of the possession now.
Have seen Artwell as well. Malik Stevens trying to get a bit adventurous. He's gone pretty quiet, the number 21.
Yeah, he
Stevens.
has.
Another play out of Trelawney.
Evan Taylor out wide now. Here's an opportunity once more. Again, the final pass into the attacking third. Lacking a bit of accuracy. They'll try again. Lewis touches it inside. Taylor. It's Rich. Gets the return. Rich forced to go wide.
No problem. You take time, take time. Get close, get close. Out!
Cavalier trying to get out of their own defensive third. Unable to do so, but Chapelton, they give it up again too easily. And Barclay will eat up a few more seconds. Webster doing a little bit too much on that occasion. Yellow card shown to Chanel Thomas. I wonder if it was something that he said. Oh, no, he actually kicked the ball away in retaliation to the call which was made against his team. Slippery from Ainsworth. Looking for Atkinson. Chapelton going through the gears here.
We still see your yellow cones on the field, don't we?
Here's Chapelton again. And Ellis just ran out of ideas. The crowd didn't like it at all. Just ran into traffic.
Careful there. Ricketts and Atkinson, almost an elbow shown at one point, and so need to be calmed down. Andre Farquharson not tolerating any of it. I don't think they like that Ricketts, Asante Ricketts, put up the arm, the elbow in initial. Look at it here. He goes as if he's going to throw an elbow. See? There.
You know what's funny? Yeah. He probably would have missed.
Yeah.
Atkinson is that short. So I think something similar happened like a couple seconds before.
Yeah.
And it went right over his head. So I'm not sure how much of a connection that would have made. Anyway.
Lots of tempers.
Indeed. This game having a little bit more personality, I think. Good of Atkinson to show some ambition, though.
Yeah.
Welterweight against a featherweight on that occasion, wasn't it?
You never know. More of a height thing because can't say that Ricketts weighs that much.
Welterweight level?
No, I was saying it's probably more of a discussion of height rather than weight.
Yes,
look at Ricketts.
Yeah, but obviously the welterweight on the right and the featherweight on the left. It's clear.
Oh,
it's crystal clear.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. Ding. Yeah, they're tonight's entertainment, folks. So we've reached that time in the game. Ravina Bartlett needs some attention from off the bench.
And the boots are off.
Yep.
Clovis still shouting instructions, not happy with what's going on. Wants to see more, very animated in his ways. They are very, he will give you a joke or two, show at the 90 minutes. Without speed, in the meantime, you could see him giving some advice to Colin Anderson in terms of what you would want. Obviously, would want to put this to bed. You know, get some of those incisive plays early. Another goal would certainly kill off the affair from a Cavalier perspective.
Indeed, it would.
So, I think important for him to get that done. Well, he came prepared, Donald Oliver. He has the windbreaker, hoodie, whatever you want to call it.
It's probably both.
I guess he comes to the Ashenine Stadium a bit more often than us.
Oh, we've seen it quite a few times, actually. Oh, Shanil Thomas trying to break away. Not clear properly. Oh, Anderson on the doorstep. And when he's on the doorstep, he knocks loudly. His second goal of the game, his 13th this season. And Cavalier 2-0 up now over Chapelton.
Well, he took his notes well from Coach Rudolph Speed. And he put it into play. No controversy in this one. Starting it, nice pass over the top. It was a beautiful pass over the top to Chanel Thomas. Good run, a big fortuitous here. And Atkinson will actually be rewarded with the assist. Not sure that's
it came off the defender, I think.
No, it's Atkinson's shin.
Well, we're going to see it again, but it really doesn't matter to Anderson.
No,
he got a gift, and he really took it.
And it's 13 on the season, and he's joint top with Trevante Stewart. Is it? Or is it? Yes, 13. And of course, Mount Pleasant would have played already a 2-0 win over Tivoli Gardens, but Stewart was not on the score sheet. So it's tied in the Golden Boot race. And another brace this season for Colin Anderson. Well, he might not be finished yet, but he already has 1 hat-trick. And I make it 2 braces. This is a 3rd.
And with a couple of braces, he really has something to smile about, eh?
I could count on you down a lot of.
I do try so very hard. There's another whistle on the play.
It's a 3rd assist on the season for Dwayne Atkinson. And it's a 5th yellow card from Andre Farquharson.
Yep, shown to Richard King, who is bemused, as are most recipients of a yellow card, to be fair. But he goes into the referee's book.
Just returning from red card suspension as well, Richard King. And I think it's a throw of the arm.
You think?
Well, the Maroons are going to make some changes. Quite a few players warming up. One is Kevin Clark.
Well, can they get one here? See Brown trying to let loose a shot.
And the other, David Reed. 2 players that we have been wondering about.
Oh, this could be difficult here. Anderson trying to utilize his pace. And Michael Harrison with the clearance just in time. Christian was in some trouble there, had lost his footing. But Harrison, his goalkeeper, bailed him out. Watson now. Rich inside wasn't the best ball across. Now here's Thomas. Thomas saying Anderson should chase, and he did try.
Yeah.
And Christian was relieved that that went out into touch.
Looks like it's going to be a triple substitution, actually. Ray Campbell, the other player. That's Ray.
Yeah. Not going to be made as yet, but shortly. Chapelton will continue playing. Ricketts. And Chapelton get it back. Javel Ellis. Taylor. Brown blocked. Ricketts blocked. Throw in. And the changes will be made by Chapelton.
Shane Watson coming out. That will be for Ray Campbell. The wing back.
Yeah, more attacking option here. So that's a first change that's made by Chapelton Maroons. Second change sees that Mark Lewis exiting the arena.
Mark Lewis and Evans, Jaleel Evans. David Reed, the Glenmuir standout, 12 goals, 16 assists on the Costa Cup season. A very good one for David Reed. And Kevin Clark, 2 goals and 16 assists. He was the team captain for William Knibb in the recently concluded the Costa Cup, and his ball into the box right away is not bad at all.
Here's an effort that had that spilled by Vino Bartlett, but he manages to hold on. And Again, Christian, his hands full with Colin Anderson. And I'm wondering how much longer he can be worn down at the back. He's done a lot of running and you can see that he's tiring. And ball almost given away. But Anderson gets there.
This is David Reed. Dangerous ball. Like for like substitution with Ray Campbell coming on. Natural left back. And Reed, who is a natural left footer but can play on either flank.
Yeah, there's the aforementioned.
That's Ray Campbell, yeah.
Ray Campbell.
Reed actually went to school initially at Denby and then made a transition to Glenmuir where he's really gone from strength to strength. Here's a number 11 for Glenmuir. And an outstanding season, was part of the Alder Costa team as well.
Yep, got a few minutes in that one.
Did he? And the coach has put him on left. Kevin Clark, who can play in the wide areas as well, is on the opposite flank.
Well, Reed trying to thread that one through.
Yeah, it was Clark he was looking for, actually. Clark actually played for the national under-15 Reggae Boys team in 2018, I think it was, under coach Aaron Lawrence. And let me tell you, he scored a hat-trick on debut for the under-15 team, Kevin Clark. He was more the provider this season for William Nib, only 2 goals, which was probably a bit of a surprise because he does get in goal-scoring areas. But from the wide areas, some telling balls which created 16 assists, so very useful player.
Evan Taylor to deliver. Needs an accurate one. And too much for Ricketts to do.
Need a remind you, by the way, that those 16 assists, who they were finished by.
Mark Lewis. Most of them.
So I guess you have to have somebody to finish them, eh?
Mm-hmm.
What better striker who would score 34 in 2 seasons? Anyhow, Clovis de Oliveira has tried all the combinations and none have been able to break down this Cavalier wall so far.
And I'm wondering how they will prevail against more defensive-minded teams.
Where you have to be more expansive and creative, and imaginative, I should say.
Because there were a couple of chances that they had where they found space in behind the Cavalier back line, and here's Cavalier coming forward. Atkinson finding Anderson. Can this be his hat-trick? Oh, yes! He is blazing, Colin Anderson. And he's back on top of the scorers chart in the Jamaica Premier League. He is scoring for fun, and the crowd loves him. 3 goals on the day, 3 goals for Cavalier. It's all over for Chapelton.
4 goals on the season against Chapelton. Doesn't he love them? 1 in the 3-0 win in October, and now a hat-trick here. His 2nd hat-trick of the season. Great finish. Good composure, took it on the half volley, enough power to beat Harrison. And yeah, Harrison will have no reason to complain no more. These two as clinical as they get to join the 3rd, which was a bit controversial. Great counter-attacking move by Cavalier, and the pass from Dwayne Atkinson was as accurate as it could be. 2 assists on the evening for Atkinson, takes his tally to 4 on the season.
Yep, he's doubled it in one night. Chapelton with the corner. They're still going to try.
Well, they have drawn a blank so far this season against Cavalier. Almost 2 games completed and still yet to find the back of the net. And as you said, they haven't created very much in terms of opportunities, even though they have competed in the middle of the park. At certain points, especially in the first half, they had the majority of the possession, did Chapelton, but it's what you do with the possession that counts.
Yep, that's critical.
And what you do with the attacks. And Cavalier, especially in the second half, they have been clinical. Rodolphe Speed said it would be a harder timeout this week. Well, this tie compared to the first leg, where he thought Chapelton, I guess, was a lot weaker, but now under Clovis de Oliveira, and based on the results, getting that first victory under him last week, he figured it would be a lot more difficult. And in the first half, it certainly was. It wasn't as easy, but in the second half, not sure if it's tired legs or what, but we spoke about the potency of the Cavalier attack and how versatile it is, and how pacey it is. And as time wears on in games, that pace, if it is maintained, will take its toll.
And you sensed it in a couple of their defenders. We realized that Christian was marking Colin Anderson, and it was one-on-one on quite a few occasions, in fact.
And let's talk just even about the fitness levels of Atkinson and especially Anderson.
Oh, yes.
There's been some deliveries where Anderson has had to sprint to get them, and he has never let up.
Never.
Anderson, he's been running non-stop. I mean, and the pace at which he's going to get some of those in vain as well. It just shows a level of fitness that himself and Atkinson obviously have, and that has bore fruit.
The only other player who was truly impressed by their fitness, or I should say only other attacker I was truly impressed by their fitness, would have been Trayvon Reed when he was plying his trade with Harbourview. And oh, how they have missed his services.
Yeah, for sure. And goals.
Javel Ellis sends this one high. Webster doing some good defensive work. Shaniel Thomas does well. Such a silky player is Thomas.
He's improving physically as well.
Yes.
Because he was well under par when he just returned from
Atkinson was driving that one goalwards too, you know. Just biding his time well, getting by Tajay Brown. Atkinson getting a foot in. Atkinson, oh, that's a crunching challenge. He's thinking of a shot. L shots. It's wide of the mark.
What a run again by Atkinson. His nickname is certainly well deserved.
Always busy.
Yeah, ever working. Always putting the defense under pressure. And yeah, L shot skewing it in the end. But again, Cavaliers so dangerous coming forward. This attack that looks well.
Oh, they've given it up. It's a chance for Atkinson. Almost came across to Anderson. Chapelton at 6s and 7s at the back at the moment. But they got away with that one just now.
Yeah. Did he take just too long? Did he overthink it? Did Atkinson? By stopping it to then cut it. Was that necessary?
Yeah, he had to deal with the surprise first from Ricketts.
Should he have kicked it there though?
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah,
he should have.
Yeah. Because what he did was allow Christian to get further goal side on the line. He would have caught out Christian had he kicked it one time, and maybe persons would have said he was selfish. But
he was anticipating movement from Osana Ricketts, which didn't come.
Right.
And when he decided to cut back to his left, that's when he, well, didn't have nowhere to go. Didn't have anywhere to go. Here's the Sportsmax that moment of the game, and it's Colin Anderson competing as a hat-trick there. It's a wonderful ball from Dwayne Atkinson and Anderson. Colin Anderson did ever so well to place that one to the right of Mikael Harrison, and that's a Sportsmax that moment of the game. Chapelton. Brown sending this one inside. No issues there for Bartlett.
Oh, he has had an easy evening, Bartlett.
Yep.
Hasn't been called upon at all. Is this Ronaldo Robinson?
Yeah, he came on the park. He's just come on the park, in fact. Ronaldo Robinson. And King is there.
He glided himself onto the park because he certainly slipped by me.
Ball played inside the area. I think Elshot is the one who has come off, you know. We'll confirm that in a bit. Ball taken. Oh, that's a magnificent finish. It really is. Oh my goodness. What a hit that was from Evan Taylor. Well, well, well. From just about the halfway line, saw the keeper off his line, and Evan Taylor, one of Jamaica's best midfielders back in the days, really utilizing his ambition, but it was the execution which was perfect. And Chapelton, they have something to smile about.
Yeah. Well, Vino Bartlett won't like seeing a replay on that. And didn't do much to keep it out. All credit to Taylor, though. Brilliant vision. And shows all his experience there. And, well, can't say he gives much hope, but he gets Clovis de Oliveira, his coach, back off his bench. And, yeah, that's the first on the season for Taylor.
It is. Wow. Talk about rolling back the years.
Yeah. That will make the highlight reel of the season.
If not the goal of the season. Well, is it all for academic interest?
I think so. But stranger things have happened.
You mean the television series?
Will they pull off a
No?
Man City versus Aston Villa?
Maybe. You have no idea about television series, right?
Which?
Stranger Things?
No.
Okay. That one flew over your head.
Clearly.
Here's an effort that is easily blocked.
I think he had the audacity to lob that over the keeper from his own half, Taylor. I'm impressed to share the same name.
Webster plays it to Atkinson, and Robinson getting ahead on it, but couldn't do a lot with it.
He even had a motorcycle parade to celebrate the moment.
They've been celebrating a lot of moments this afternoon, apparently.
Well, what Chapelton have finally done is to find a goal against Cavalier. She's up off her feet as well. I don't think she'll be nervous at all, though.
Well, unless Cavalier scores. And trying to do something cheeky there, Atkinson. And here's David Reed now, attacking the space. Ellis will get the corner kick for his team. Well, a second goal right now would make things interesting, I think. They need to take it quickly, though.
Yeah, they've had 3 players change. It will be Kevin Clark.
Can they get another goal here, Chapelton? Well, conversation being had between the referee and Ming. Here's a
nice delivery by Clark.
Yep, it was a good one.
Ball again.
Trying to, well,
Wasn't it the Cavalier player who handled the ball?
yeah, Robinson did, but I think the referee said that he was pushed,
though? Fair enough.
which is understandable. But it was awkward looking.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Did
Malik Stevens.
head it onto his own hand.
Farquharson has had a good game so far.
King, oh, lovely ball inside to Webster. Good defending. Couldn't quite get it under his spell though.
Yeah.
Webster.
I think he handled the ball as well. Let's see it here. When it flicks up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that touched his arm. I guess because it went out of play, they just continued.
Yeah, but Ray Campbell was closely marking him inside the area. Here's Ellis. Tajay Brown. Oh, he has space to work with, you know. Needed a better first touch.
Oh, he went
Was
with
there a
his right
handled
foot.
ball there?
Surprised me. Had it on his left.
David Reed, huh?
Yeah, decided to go on to the right.
Well, here's an opportunity. Here's the shot. There was some swerve on that, you know. You see that backlet had to readjust and then claim the catch,
Malik
which was pretty good in the end. Shot coming in from Malik Stevens.
Substitutes making a difference though. Reed involved. You can see Javel Ellis getting involved. Clark from the corner.
Beating the press easily.
Maybe
Cavalier.
Some of these players should have gotten more minutes.
It's really a pity he didn't have Aaron Elliott to utilize in this game. But of course can't play against his parent club.
Offside. Sharina Lane with the call. Actually an official out of Barbados. Sharina Lane.
We should have guessed from the Elaine.
From
to
the
be
last
fair.
name, yeah.
Yeah.
A popular name in Barbados. Playing her trade in the Jamaica Premier League. Did get an awkward tackle, we would call it, earlier. From one of the Maroon defenders.
Atkinson. Webster finding Robinson. Back to Webster. Elshot, Webster, Atkinson into touch. So, his team heading back into second position. As a change is going to be made, Colin Anderson, the hat-trick hero of the evening, is to make an exit.
Yeah, top performance by Colin Anderson. No
Clear
on top
Clark
of the,
comes on the Gavin Maceo man.
yeah. Had a disappointing season in schoolboy football this year, Cleo Clark, especially based on his title-winning performance the year before with the likes of Gregory Cousins up front for Gavin Maceo.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Omari Henry, by the way, is on the park now.
We haven't seen much of him, Clark, in the Premier League so far this season.
Yeah, Henry getting his first touch, not of the ball though, but of a player. Cavalier, they go the other way. They want one more. It's Robinson. Ronaldo Robinson across the face of goal. Was there a handball there? They just managed to clear. Well.
There seems to be a problem spotting handballs at this side of the pitch.
Because that was
That's
clear as day.
Wow, that's an
From
obvious handball.
Ricketts. He is lucky. Ozani Ricketts.
His hand couldn't be any further away from his body or it would be detached.
It was almost a fingertip save.
It's almost as if he was diving into the ocean or something. Well, or hand gliding.
Yes. Well, natural hand gliding, wasn't it? I need to be in a natural position in order for it not to be called.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How could that not be called?
It's this side of the field, I'm certain.
Yeah, as we said, it's the blind spot side.
And
that was
another
too
change
obvious.
made, and it's Richard King off for Ronaldo Barrett.
To be honest, I don't even think Andre Farquharson needed his assistant with that one. That was so blatant. Anyhow, it wouldn't change the result.
No.
But you never know what one goal might do with goal difference later on in the season.
Yeah.
Right. That could have given them a 3 goals. Right.
Against, I'm talking about Chapelton, eh?
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
In that relegation battle.
But even tying up on points up at the top.
Oh, Reed.
Not bad by Reed, but...
Yeah, but needed support inside the box, right?
Up. Yeah.
Well, they have tons of space now. It's Robinson again. Robinson pulls it back.
Nice.
At the top of the box is Webster. Deflected and in. They're lining up now. And Webster is enjoying his stay. Wonderful from him. And that's his 3rd goal this season. Ronaldo Webster. Signed, sealed, delivered. He has worked really hard these last couple of weeks, and he deserved this goal.
Ronaldo Robinson down the right-hand side again. Perfect with the pass, as it was 2 minutes before. And Webster has had a very good game and puts the icing on the cake. 3 on the season to match his performance last season. And a 4-star performance.
It is a 4-star performance. And wonderfully done by Cavalier yet again. Defeated them first time out by 3 goals to 0. They've gone a goal better. 3 of the goals today, courtesy of that man, Colin Anderson. There wasn't even a discussion as to who would be the player of the game. It was so obvious. And Clovis de Oliveira and company will have to talk it over again as Chapelton desperate to get out of the relegation zone. But as far as Cavalier is concerned, they move back to 2nd spot in the Jamaica Premier League as their main striker, Colin Anderson, moves to the #1 spot on the scorers charts with 14 to his name. Final score, Cavalier 4, Chapelton Maroons 1. As we take a look at the full-time highlights here, and Cavalier, they had the majority of the chances. Webster's ball inside the area at the back post was Ainsworth. Couldn't quite wrap his foot around that. And Atkinson was busy in the attacking third. And that shot was going just wide, but Mikhail Harrison didn't know. Had to make the save. But again, good hustling from Dwayne Atkinson. He's known for that. Ainsworth trying to get the ball inside. King was playing in the midfield area today. And that shot was easy for Harrison to handle. And then this goal was a wonderful build-up, you know. And the Chapelton Maroons defenders thought it was a handled ball here. And Anderson, well, he didn't mind. In the 37th minute, he gave his team the lead. And difficult to spot, to be fair. But that was his first goal. Ainsworth really had a good game on the left-hand side. Allen's effort easily handled again by Mikhail Harrison, who was busy between the sticks. Tajay Brown for the Chapelton Maroons, sending this one across. This was a big opportunity for Mark Lewis. Couldn't quite generate the power behind it, Lewis. There are no issues there for Reno Bartlett. Then lovely stuff by Shanil Thomas. They thought that he was running into traffic. It eventually bounced free to Colin Anderson, who made no mistake there in the 68th minute. Yep. Maybe Atkinson was the one who provided the assist, you know. Getting it across to Anderson. And prime time finish. And this is how he completed the hat-trick again. The assist from Dwayne Atkinson. And Anderson making no mistake. Delightfully done. And he's the league's top scorer once more. 14 to his name. And then they responded. Look at this effort. From inside his own half. That's delightful. That's brilliant from Evan Taylor. Opening his account this season. One of the best midfielders out of Jamaica. And the veteran just rolling back the years in scoring that one. Pretty accurate. And then Robinson finding Webster. His shot deflected. He will claim it. Getting his third goal this season, Ronaldo Webster. And boy, wasn't he delighted. And so too Cavalier at the end of this one. 4-1, the final score. Cavalier with 14 shots, 8 on target. Chapelton with 11 shots, 5 on target. Cavalier with 17 fouls committed in the game, 4 more than Chapelton. 3 yellow cards apiece, and 3 offside as opposed to 1 from Cavalier, who had the majority of the corners at 8 compared to 3. They had the majority of the possession as well at 57%.
Colin, another man of the match performance from you. Boy, you just can't stop scoring. Now, alone on top of the goal scoring charts with 14. How does it feel?
Well, firstly, I want to say thanks to the Lord. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be out here doing this. I enjoy this. I feel really, really good knowing that I come out here and I give it my all. Getting a hat-trick, the second hat-trick of the season, I'm feeling good.
At the start of the season, would you have ever imagined that you would have had 14 goals by now?
Yeah, I set a target. I set a target in the first part of the season. I'm going for it. The leading goal scorer, 20 to 25.
And I know you have a special arrangement with your coach as well. You made a promise to him that that goals would certainly be something for Colin Anderson this year, and you're certainly following through on your promise.
Yeah, that is my promise to my coach, and I'm going for it this season.
All right, and how happy are you in terms of how the team is performing?
Well, the team is looking good thus far. We just need to fix up some little touch in training and come again.
All right, Colin, go and recover. Enjoy your win and enjoy your second hat-trick of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Colin Anderson, another man of the match performance. And a hat-trick for him, his second of the season, 14 goals he leads the Premier League with. And I'm now going to be joined by Clovis de Oliveira. Clovis, not necessarily the result. You competed well in the first half, but in the second half, Cavalier went from strength to strength.
Yes, perfect, your analysis. I find so that the team did the first half time, good balance, even though they were a little bit better than ourselves, but not a lot of clear chance of the goal. But unfortunately, we have lost those 2 best players from the past game. And I have to use the young boys. They have got a potential, but not experience. So that's why we didn't have equilibrium in this kind, and they scored 4 goals.
In the second half, though, you left it late. You mentioned some of the young players. I actually thought some of the young players that you brought in on the attacking side of things actually brought good energy. You brought on the likes of Kevin Clark, David Reed, to name a couple, who actually looked like they brought some energy, brought some width to your attack, and looked like they could cause problems.
Yeah, and you are right. But the problem is, I didn't want And it's not good to use those young players in that situation when we are losing like this. But they respond very well. I'm very satisfied. I'm very happy with their performance. But unfortunately, there is no experience to handle this kind of the situation. It's still, all of them, it was the first time they have been playing in the senior team. But I'm happy that's football. Congratulations for Cavalier. They did very well. They have got a good team. They deserve to win us.
All right, Clovis, we expect that you will come back strong next week. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Clovis de Oliveira there, head coach at the Chapelton Maroons. Aberdeen Scarlett now comes in, assistant coach of Cavalier. Well, a good performance generally by Cavalier right throughout, and you finished with a flurry, 4 goals.
Most definitely. We have been doing some work in training in front of the goal. And I mean, the guys came out today and they did just what we asked them to do.
I know you pay keen attention to the goalkeepers of Cavalier as well, Coach Scarlett. What will you have to say to Vina Bartlett about that one that he conceded from about the half line?
Well, most definitely, we go back in training and work on his mistakes. He himself knows that he made a mistake. And I mean, it's just one of those things,
Would you say it's a mistake, or would you say credit to Evan Taylor for that kind of strike?
It was a beautiful strike, but definitely a mistake by Vina Bartlett.
Okay, generally, on a more serious note, when you look at the overall play of Cavalier, the first half was a lot more difficult. What would you put down to the extra performance in the second half? Do you think it's just a case of the fitness of Cavalier versus the tiring defense line of Chapelton, or just your depth of squad?
I would put it that is our resilience, going in attack. It's something that we drill the guys that, we want to stay strong in games, play at high tempo, and, just keep the teams on the back foot.
All right, Cavalier certainly look like a strong unit. Congratulations on the win, and we look forward to seeing more from Cavalier as the season goes on.
Thanks.
So let's take a look at all the results. Well, on Sunday afternoon in match week 16. Mobay United and Mullines United ending 2-2. Mount Pleasant with a 2-0 win over Tivoli Gardens. Portman United also with a 2-0 win over Veer United. It was goalless between Falkland and Humberline, while Cavalier, they registered the 4-1 win over Chapelton Maroons here. And we take a look at the point standings here. Mount Pleasant on top, 35 points. Cavalier second, 32 points. Oh, it's pretty close. It sets up a mouth-watering top of the table clash next weekend. Arnie Gardens in third spot at the moment on 30 points. They could rise to second tomorrow if they beat Waterhouse. Humberline, Harbourview, Dunbeholden, they round out the top 6. Falkland and Chapelton Maroons, they're still at the bottom of the table. So we're looking ahead to what's happening in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digital on Monday. Harbourview against Dunbeholden. That match begins at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. ECT. You can watch that on Sportsmax 2. And then right after that, we're talking about Monday Night Football. We're talking about El Clasico, Arnett Gardens against Waterhouse. You do not want to miss this one. Starting at 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean. You can watch that on Sportsmax 2 as well as on the Sportsmax app. So reminding you of the final score here, Cavalier 4, Chapelton 1. Cavalier with the 3 points. Colin Anderson with 3 goals. He's top of the scorers chart. Cavalier in second spot in the standings. On behalf of producer Ramon Stewart and director Michael Edwards and the hard-working production team here at the Home of Champions, it's goodbye from Jamaica College.